Drove out to the fading heat, Cadillac, that king of the street. Bright summer and dark red paint sets in with time to wait.
John Brus is my name. I'm from Brouwerij De Molen. Brouwerij De Molen is a small craft brewery in the Netherlands. We make a lot of different styles of beer. Started in 2006 as Brouwerij De Molen. Before that we did not have a mill yet, because De Molen means the mill. And we we started in an old mill just down the road from the current brewery. The brewery was started by Localbier, and in 2009 he and I became partners, and since then we've been running this small craft brewery.
Somehow when the year came in, I could have done most anything.
We brew a lot of different beers. We can make batches of 25 to 50 hectoliters, and we brew almost every day. So in total we make about 4,000 hectoliters last year, and we expect to brew maybe 5,000 hectoliters of beer this year. We export most of this beer. About 75% of our beers are exported. And biggest countries are the USA, Sweden, and well, I don't know exactly what the third would be, because we export to 30 different countries. So a lot of countries, among them Spain, England, France, which are big growing markets for us.
With time to waste, drove out to the fading blue, took a road for a day or two.
We have a brewery that's especially designed for us, for the beer, the style of beer we make. We had that done in Czech Republic about 2010, I think, when we grew and we moved to the current place. And we have a mashing / boil vessel. We have a filter and whirlpool. Besides that, we have a lot of fermenters. 6 of them are made for 50 hectoliter batches, and 2 of them are made for 100 hectoliter batches. So we ferment, we brew only 25 hectoliters, but we ferment in 50 or 100 hectoliters. And we also have 2 smaller ones and a lot of even smaller fermenters, mainly used for our barrel-aged beers, which are put from the barrel into a small fermenter, and then we carbonate them in that small fermenter.
Didn't fight, but they were few and far between, but they were there for something.
We do a lot of different styles of beers. We have a range, a regular range, which we make all the time, of about 20 different beers. Most brewers say we are nuts, because if you do that, it means every time you make a beer you have to do it differently than the day before, or the day, or even 2 weeks before. Also, logistics are quite difficult if you do that kind of range of beers. Besides these 20 beers, we also brew for seasonal beers, and we brew some beers we never done before. Almost every 2 months we make a beer we never did before. And that's because we just like to experiment. We like beer in general. We like so many different kinds of beers. I'm a big fan of the black imperial stouts, porters, stuff like that, but also hoppy beers or smoked beers.
Feeling the same, and I won't be tired of a sober.
One of the beers I really like to drink in the sun before, for example, is a beer like Vuur and Vlam, which is an IPA, which is hopped 3 times, so it's hopped during the boil, after the whirlpool, and also dry hopped inside the fermenter, which gives a beer very, very hoppy aroma and flavor without adding too much of the bitterness. So it's still bitter because it's an IPA, but it's not aggressive in the bitterness. It's just a lot of hop and aroma and flavor, which makes it very pleasant to drink, I think, especially in a sunny country or in Holland if it's summer.
And I'll still be feeling the same.
The brewery was founded in a historic mill from 1697, if I'm correct. That mill is still there, but we don't do the big brews there anymore. We still brew there, but it's mainly a restaurant now, with a beer shop, with not just our beers, because we import a lot of beers as well. So it's a lot of beers from all kinds of countries in the world, and all good beers, of course. We only import craft beer, not just any beer. And well, the restaurant, of course, has a lot of beers from us. I think 10 beers on tap always. Sometimes there's a guest brew, and you can have a nice meal there and lunch. It's not owned by De Molen anymore. It's a different owner, but we are very close, working together. So they always work for us in the sense of receiving visitors and serving our beers.
Drinking the night away, well, I'll still be here.
As a brewery, we always also have a very much sense of responsibility regarding the community where we live. So we try to brew in a way that doesn't take too much of the environment, for example, but also we work together with people with a foundation that have people working here with a mental handicap. So people with Down syndrome or autistic people, and they help us in the brewery very much. They work for us at the bottling line, they label the beers, they help us clean all kinds of jobs that are to be done in a brewery, actually.
In the way we've been spending life, a day at a time. I want you.
For us, the future is actually very near. We have been expanding about 3 years ago. We grew 10 times bigger than we did before, and still there is a lot of demand for our beers in both domestic and internationally. And we see a lot of change in the market, in our opinion. In Holland it used to be a lot of lager, then 20-25 years ago a lot of Belgian style beers became popular, and now there's really again a turning point that people are growing in their flavor, in their taste, and they want more than just a sweet beer with a little bit of different flavor. Now they want really more aggressive beers, they want hoppy beers, they want big imperial stouts, and it's changing and it's growing fast. I really want to keep up with that growth in the demand. So I think we need to grow again soon. We don't know how yet, but we will probably make another step and brew some more beer in the near future. And so we can keep on delivering to the people that love our beers. Every last weekend in September we have a beer festival, and it's not a regular beer festival like in Germany or many other countries where people come and drink beer and get drunk. People might get drunk, but it's really a festival that is meant to be a discovery. So people come here and find new flavors, find new beers, find new brewers, because we're not just serving our own beers, of course. Last year we had about 4,500 visitors from around the globe, and they enjoyed our 150 different beers from only the best brewers actually. Brewers like Narke from Sweden, like Tocomato from Italy, like Napa from Spain, France, and we always invite some brewers that are really well known because of their wonderful beers, but we always try to invite a few brewers that are a surprise to everyone. The people say, oh, what's this? And it's a success. We started off with 500 people 5 years ago, not making any advertisements for this, just mouth to mouth, and well, we're expecting 5,500 this year. So you're invited. The last weekend of September, 26th and 27th, is our beer festival, and come on and enjoy loads of good beers.